I am loving and enjoying everything about the energy that Angela Reese is giving and the response to all of this criticism and ignorance. And girl, you do not have to accept anything from Joe Biden. Let's talk about it. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. So what's going on, y'all? I'm getting chills talking about this because the energy that this girl is giving is something so refreshing, something that I have not seen in a long time. We are seeing this black girl not play the game, and it is scary to black folks who believe that they are progressive and are still inherently anti-black and operating in a system that is against them from the very beginning. Angela Reese does not have access to professionalism or sportsmanship because she is black. She is black. She's always going to be seen as the aggressor, the one doing too much, all of that. And to see black folks come and speak and tell this girl how she should be feeling and how she should be responding is the most ignorant shit I have ever seen on Twitter, on social media. Y'all have got to be kidding me. Like, y'all cannot be out here having conversations about how black women are treated, how black women are scrutinized, villainized, all these things, and yet be participating in the same thing. This girl says she's not interested in accepting an apology from the White House or Jill Biden. She does not want to play the game that y'all been playing. And what's funny is folks be out, y'all, these girls, they swear up and down that they are progressive, they're doing things, da da da, and I just would never. Y'all are doing the same shit. Like, y'all are doing the same stuff, like, y'all are doing the same thing like these liberal aunties and uncles, like folks my age, like jumping on this black girl. It was so disgusting seeing some of these tweets from folks like just, well, she doing a lot, she needs to calm down. This is not gonna be, seen well because Jill Biden is cool with the Obamas and Michelle, and this puts them in the bag. Girl, both of them, period. Like, and when Angela Reese said, what's up with Michelle and Obamas and stuff, she was speaking for where the at. Where they at. I don't think, like, people trying to come and like educate her and trying to say, oh, these, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama are just as, evil or whatever. Like, girl, they ain't no good either. These girls ain't dumb. They're not dumb. They're very intelligent. Angela Reese even said in response that she sees Twitter. She knows how Twitter acts. She knows everything. Like, she pays attention to the stuff and she sees the criticism and stuff. And I don't blame her, like, saying no to an apology from the White House. It's so shocking for some folks to see a black person not play the game. It's so shocking. And then you have these black folks who have played the game and still have been burned. Like, you see these black folks playing the game and still get burned time in and time out, like all the time. Like, you don't have access to these things that you want. You don't have access to professionalism. Angela Reese does not have access to that. She doesn't. She's automatically black. They're already gonna read her as aggressive and all that other stuff. And you wanna know what's also interesting, I was, having a conversation with some folks about, is that white people already see black bodies as more athletic and I'm sure it's like the term would be like eugenics, but they already see black bodies as overly powerful or stronger. And these are something, like, if you really think about it, this is how they spoke about our bodies when they were selling us as like cattle. So they don't see us as human. Yeah, slavery is abolished and all this other stuff, but collectively, white people do not see us as human. I'm so sorry. That's not how, like, they don't. That's not how they see us. And to see these black girls beat these white girls, they already seen the white girls as like victims and they're experiencing like, oh God, like, already lost. and then to be thrown up in their face is like, oh, because that's how the conversation started. Angel Reese had a viral video, a picture of her pointing at her ring, pointing her hand like, hey girl, I don't know what it meant, necessarily, but maybe it meant a ring or something like championship, period. And you had a lot of folks jump in and saying, oh my gosh, like this is unprofessional, this is low sportsmanship, like this is just below, like a lot of white folks were just like with big platforms. Keith Olbermann, one of Obama's advisors, I cannot think of his name because I listened to his podcast. Oh my God, I want to think of his name so bad. You had a lot of white folks like was just being like white people who call themselves liberals. And we know what that means. Like white liberals don't care about black folks like that. They don't. And you see it in this situation, like they tolerate us. They tolerate us, period. And we can get into a conversation about that later. Maybe not on YouTube, maybe on Patreon. But they tolerate. And in this situation, they were over the tolerance. Like, hey girl, you're doing too much. Like you're already, and you out here doing this to these like white teens. No man, they already saw them as victims, felt sorry for them, like y'all lost, The same way that they wouldn't have felt sorry for these black girls. The same way that they wouldn't have been invited to the White House had they lost. Like, and the fact that Jill Biden gets up and makes a joke like this great googly, like, white girl, let's just invite both of the teams here and just show good. I want both of the teams to come. I mean, what? Hey, like, when I tell you, when Jill Biden said that, I thought about so many black folks who work in corporate America who know a Jill Biden, like a white woman who just doesn't get it. Like, just doesn't get it. Just like, you know what? Hey, like, that's just some of the most idiotic stuff that, like, we understand. We understand. And you know what? This is why I have to keep reminding folks that white people collectively are racist. They're anti-black. Like, it's not a thing where a white person has to say something derogatory about a black person or, think. It is ingrained. Like, white people benefit from racism, anti-blackness. They benefit from it. And in this moment, Jill Biden is completely unaware of how it looks inviting a losing team who is white that was beat by a black girl. Like, black girls. Like, she doesn't get it. But she does get that it looks bad that this white team has lost to these black girls in the eyes of America. Like, it looks bad because that's how she thinks. That's why it was her first thought. Like, that's why it wasn't even something written. It was just, oh my gosh, because that is anti-blackness. That is, like, that's how that stuff works. Because you're used to these things. This is how it's supposed to be. And you felt empathy and you felt sorry for the white girls who lost. Because when the message folks want to say, I don't see color, you saw color in this moment. You saw a black girl team beat a white girl team. Through all the triumphs and all this stuff. Like, and then white would use, if, they grew up in poverty and this and that, and they grew up in the worst part of, Louisiana and, in poverty and poor, and look at them. They'll use them, they'll, like, push them in front of the cameras and say, look how they've been able to grab themselves up by the bootstraps and do good. You can too, type of situation to tell other blacks. While also enacting and supporting policies that are like harmful to black folks, and also while having the power to make legislation and things change for black folks and saying, hey, we can't do it because it's not gonna look good for overall. Girl, it's a mess. So I wanna get into the conversation about Angel Reese, saying, hey, like, what's going on with the Obamas? Like, she said she's not interested in going to the White House. LSU said they are, accepting the invitation. If the girls go, that's another conversation. And I'm gonna get into that too. But Angel Reese saying, like, she's collectively saying she doesn't, she ain't accepting the apology. Like, what's going on with Obama and all of them other folks. And it's just like, girl, I think what she said there when Angel Reese said that, she wasn't necessarily like just, loving on the Obamas per se, which a lot of black folks do, unfortunately. But I think she was like basically just saying, like, where the black folks at? I think that's what she was saying. If you get it, you get it. I felt like that's what she was saying. I agree with that. One of my other friends said that's what he saw. And I feel like that's what that was. Or maybe, it is like her saying, like, we with Obamas, but I feel like to me, it's like, what are black folks at? That's where I want to be. I want to be around black folks because white folks are not accepting us. So let's go with the black folks out here. And people tell them, well, no, they're not gonna do that. If Michelle Obama and Barack Obama don't have the power or the access to be able to say, hey, let me sit down with these black girls and there's no malice and stuff to Jill and Joe Biden, what does that say about the power that they think they have? Because Barack Obama is our first black president, and yet he can't, him and Michelle, like she's our first black African-American first lady, and she can't like use her power to say, hey girl, I'm gonna do this. Because I guarantee you, had it been the other way around, Jill Biden would have thought nothing of it. She would have thought nothing of it. Because it would have been no backlash. Hello? Like that's what it is. So I think I'm amazed and loving to see this black girl not accepting an apology, because we've been taught, black folks have been taught like taking an apology, especially because we already are not deserving of an apology. So the fact that someone is giving us an apology, you know, we should be like taking it. So what does an apology mean? You're offering it and a person has to accept it. What does that mean? You don't have to. People apologize, they're like, hey girl, I don't accept your apology, like just moving forward. Like we need to be able to say that, like I don't accept the apology. But we like performing this respectability bullshit of taking like accepting an apology when you really haven't done the internal work. My mother always taught me, don't accept the apology till you really feel it. Till you feel like that, you like, hey girl, like I feel it. Or don't apologize until you feel it. Like, and I actually just got through watching TED Ed video about apologies. I actually shared it on Twitter. It was very informative. I actually tagged Latasha Scott in there. I was like, hey girl, you take some notes from this video of what a true apology is. An apology is like, hey, did you really mean it? Like, listen to the person. Let the person explain why they felt the way about what you have done. And then you'll be able to understand why you need to apologize, like to offer empathy. And Angela Reese doesn't have to accept the apology. But I think that for a lot of like people who were just coming down and saying that Angela Reese should accept the apology and she shouldn't be doing too much, is because they want Angela Reese to play the game. They want like this, y'all sending her down the wrong path. Like y'all sending her down the wrong path. The path of what? If we keep getting on these platforms like black folks who played the game, who still got burned, black folks who were still done over and experienced harm while like playing the game, why the hell would we tell a black girl to play the game? Like, why would we tell her that? Why are we playing the game? You know what? I've missed out on opportunities for not playing the game. Like, hey girl, I'm not playing the game. Like, she doesn't have to play the game. A lot of folks are not playing the game. A lot of folks like, I'm not playing the game of capitalism. I'm not playing that game. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I just completely do what I gotta do. Like this game that y'all talking about is white supremacy, and y'all don't get that. With as much knowledge y'all have, y'all just don't get that. Y'all don't, and it's really scary, to be honest. It's really scary for y'all to get up here and tell this black girl how to feel. Tell her to accept this apology. I ain't never seen no mess like this before. We're all that she has. We've seen how they reacted to her on social media, how they've been dragging her. And to be jumping on and dogpiling her too, are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? This is why some of y'all, you know, like y'all claim y'all progressive, but are you progressive? Is this what progress is? It's giving progressive auto insurance, to be honest. It's giving progressive insurance protecting you from stuff. Like that's what, it's not progressive. It's you protecting yourself in case white supremacists so happen to work for you in your favor, like because you want to play the game. It's not progressive. Angela Reese is not interested in playing the game, and I don't blame her. We're seeing younger like folks, the generation after us, not interested in playing these games. Just because we still are playing the game, it's going to take somebody else to push it further. Like, hey, you know what? I ain't doing all of that. If we always played the game, girl, we would not be where we are now. And it's still messed up. So think about that. But to tell someone to continuously play the game and to tone down, like, girl, don't do too much, don't piss them good white folks off. Huh? Hello? Are you okay? Sister, wake up. Wake up. Wake up out of your sleep. Wake up. It's disgusting. So I'm very thankful to see Angela Reese in this conversation, just be her true authentic self. For her to speak how she feels and say, hey girl, I'm not interested in these things. Doing these interviews, like, it's refreshing. Like, I promise you, I feel so hydrated. My skin has cleared up. My credit has went up 50 points just seeing this girl. Just like, nope, I'm good on that. Because y'all not used to that. Y'all not used to, y'all want her to play the game. Because honestly, a lot of y'all black folks see Angela Reese as ghetto and folks who y'all look down on. That's the real gag. Y'all see Angela Reese as a group of black folks who y'all don't like and y'all don't understand. Not professional. These are the folks that y'all don't want to live next to. These are the people that y'all don't want to be in a grocery store with. Y'all don't want to be in community with folks who look like Angela Reese. And that's why she said the things that she said in that interview. When they was asking her, she said, girl, I want to see black girls who look like me and talk like me. Like, this is for the black girls who underrepresented. And I love that I've seen a couple of tweets of black women saying everybody gets to be black women except black women. Period. We'll see all these caricatures, all these minstrel shows of black women. We'll see these characters that, folks have made about black women. You see puppets, even Kiki Mapisha, who I think is funny, transphobic, period. That puppet Muppet, whatever she is this week, is dark skinned for a reason. Because that's how, to play this ghetto character, you have to be dark skinned, because that's how y'all see black girls. Dark skinned, annoying, loud, coming into the grocery store, with bonnet on, unprofessional. That's how y'all see it, and y'all anti-black, period. And that's how y'all see Angela Reese. But then y'all want to see folks play up these characters. Y'all want to see black folks who don't even act like this play these characters in movies. You want to see them playing on television shows. You want to see other non-black folks play it. You want to see white people play these characters and so on and so forth. But you can't see no black girl do that. Hello? Think about how many comedians who have played sassy, quote-unquote, angry black women tropes and stuff, and down to even the puppets and Muppets and stuff. Folks have created whole caricatures of black women, but a black woman can't even collectively just be herself without being policed and scrutinized like Angela Reese is. It's really sad. So I support Angela Reese 100%. Love her down. And I think there's nothing wrong with what she said. I don't think there's nothing wrong with her not accepting Jill Biden or the White House apology and saying that she's not interested in going. I do think that if anything, while we're dragging and talking about all this, the true unprofessional stuff is how much these schools are making money off of these young people, and they're not getting paid anything. Like, LSU is gonna bring in money behind this. That's why they're accepting the invite to the White House, because they want visibility. Y'all got all these young folks playing these sports, doing all this stuff, injuring themselves, doing all this stuff, labor, and not being paid for it at all. While these schools are ranking in millions upon millions of dollars, advertisement, all type of money, the whole show, you got to pay access to see this stuff. That's the real conversation. Not no black girl pointing at no ring.